Oh, how about that New York City energy? It is great to be here for the UFC's annual showcase here inside the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden. As you might expect, we are just jonesing to get to Saturday night UFC 281. November 12th here at Madison Square Garden, it is tracking to be the 27th consecutive sellout for the combat sports leader. And this event, of course, so deep, so good that we have brought out the entire pay-per-view main card for you here today. Of course, eventually all roads lead us to the middleweight title fight, Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira under the lights here at MSG. All right, we got about 45 minutes or so. Who has the first question? Don't be shy.
I'd like to kick off with Israel Adesanya, please. Israel, I'm curious, you're a guy who's conscious of energy. What is the difference for you with this fight week being a champion compared to when you first fought here as an up-and-comer?
It's always good to be in Madison Square Garden. And last time I said it was a walk in the garden, but this time I'm not walking alone. I brought an army with me. We've got Dan Hooker, Brad Riddell, Carlos Ulberg, and all of CKB. So it's different. It's different this time because, yeah, that was 4 years ago. This is now. We're big boys now.
You know, some people on the outside will look at this and say, well, Alex has the power, you have the speed and accuracy. If that is the case, who do these little MMA gloves favor?
We'll find out.
You're also a man who knows a lot about fashion. What do you make of Alex's outfit?
I'm surprised he didn't wear Venom today. I quite like the leopard print. It goes with his whole jungle theme, innit?
For Alex, you've had a storied career, double champion in kickboxing. Where does this fight rank for you in your career?
Bom, boa noite. É muito importante essa luta para mim. Todo mundo sabe. Eu treinei muito para estar aqui. Eu fiz um excelente trabalho. O Adesanya está falando muitas coisas aí de mim. É difícil aceitar um nocaute.
Hey, first of all, good evening to everybody here. I know it's a great event here. You know, Adesanya is talking a lot. I train a lot for this, to be in this moment. Adesanya is talking about me. You know, it's going to be difficult to accept a knockout.
You've maintained throughout this that it isn't personal to you, but Israel says that it is. I'm curious, now that you're up there facing him, can you really be sure going into Saturday night that there's nothing in this for you that's personal?
Você pode ter certeza que agora vai ser diferente das últimas vezes que aconteceu. Como é que vai ser?
Bom, a gente está falando de MMA, foram kickbox. Muita gente está falando dessas duas lutas, mas eu esqueci. Eu acho que ele não esqueceu. Eu vou lutar com você como fosse a primeira luta.
You know what? We're talking about MMA. You know, we all know what happened in the last two fights. I forgot about him. I hope you forgot it as well. I'm going to fight you like it was the first time I was fighting in my life.
This is a question for Dan Hooker. Dan, you know, you fought some great guys, a couple of them on stage. Where does your opponent on Saturday rank in terms of ability for you?
No, he's a good fighter. He's a dangerous fighter. But we have an opportunity here to make this our country's biggest moment in combat sports history. So that is something that needs to be taken seriously.
What does it say to you about the growth of MMA in your own nation, where you can come to another country with an army and take over its most famous arena?
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. The people love it. They're here to see some fights, and we're more than happy to bring it.
Question for Claudio. Where would a name like Dan Hooker, what would it mean to have that on your resume?
Guys, I've been preparing my whole life for this moment. This kind of stage, New York, Madison Square Garden, so this is just really for what's gonna happen on Saturday, okay? Let's go.
Question for the champion, Israel Adesanya. All week, you said the theme with this is horror movie. You've used that phrase. So what exactly does that mean? Is it the violence? Is it the darkness? Where does the horror movie theme come from?
I've accepted this isn't like, he's not like the other guys who I fought recently. once he feels me, he's not going to try and shy away. That's why I gave a shout out to Brad Tavares, because till the 5th round, he was still going. And I believe he's not going to shy away. He's going to come there and try and fight, which is what I like. I like a guy who likes to fight because I love to fight.
Questions for Chris Gutierrez back here. Obviously, you made your pro debut, and Frankie was already a lightweight champion at that point. If I had told you 4 or 5 years ago that you would be fighting Frankie Edgar in Madison Square Garden, what would you say?
Of course, I would. Like I said, man, I've earned my spot to be here. Like I said, he's done everything in this. He's done great things in the sport, but his time is done. It's my time now.
Follow up for Frankie. He says your time is up. He said he would send you into retirement with no remorse. Is that a good attitude to have for a young fighter fighting a legend like yourself?
My time will be up Saturday, probably around 11 o'clock. After that, we still got some go time.
And then finally, one last for you, Frankie. This is probably your last press conference here before a UFC fight. Is there anything you want to tell the fans here in attendance in Madison Square Garden?
You guys make this special. I love all you out there. One more fucking ride, baby.
Question just over here for the champion, Carla Esparza. Carla, what does it mean to you to be able to have that second opportunity to defend your title successfully and then against a former champion, Weili Zhang?
It means everything to me. I fought back tooth and nail 8 years to get back here so that I could defend this belt. That is the unfinished business that I have left to do, and I'm excited to get the opportunity to do that.
And for Weili, of course, you both want to leave with the title on Saturday. How much does this second opportunity mean to you? And what do you need to do to be able to leave with that title on Saturday?
伟丽，那这个周末，我相信你们2个人都很渴望拿到这条腰带。那么对你来说，这次第2次争夺腰带的机会，你有多渴望夺回这条腰带？那你觉得自己周末这周6能够靠什么赢得这场比赛，拿回腰带？
哇，我太开心了！然后来到这儿，看到这么多的观众为我加油，哇，我太兴奋了 ！Thank you, everyone. Thank you. 我非常兴奋，然后这周6的比赛，然后我也感受到了纽约大家的热情，对这场比赛的期待，我一定会好好打好这场比赛，把精彩的比赛展现给大家。
I'm so happy to be here in New York this time, and thank you guys to give me the massive support. You are my energy on the Saturday night. I think I can win over this fight for you guys. So thank you guys for the massive support.
A question from Michael Chandler. Mike, the last time you were in this arena, you had the fight of the year with Justin Gaethje. There's such high expectations for this. What do you have to do to, recreate something like that, but come out on the winning side this time?
I think the highest expectations are the expectations that I put upon myself, and I've been doing this for 22 years, hand-to-hand combat. Madison Square Garden last year, November 6th, was the fight of the year for sure. I don't think I have anything left to prove. I'm not going out there trying to put on fight of the night. We're going out there to try to get my hand raised and win that world title in 2023 against a game opponent. Dustin Poirier's resume speaks for itself. The world's most iconic arena. So excited about this. New York, thanks for having us.
And Dustin, we spoke to you not long ago at Media Day, and you said about Mike that he may think he wants a war, but in reality, he doesn't want that deep down. Does him saying that he's not looking for that kind of reinforce your thought there?
We're going to find out Saturday night. That's what I'm going in there for. You guys want to see a head-on collision, and I'll give you one. I'm coming in there to finish this guy, by any means.
And when you fought Justin Gaethje, I remember you being very vocal saying, I know this fight, I'm going to leave a piece of myself in that octagon, or I'm preparing to do that. Do you go into this with a similar mentality, or is it different?
No, you have to in facing guys like this. These guys are very dangerous. This guy's very explosive, has a lot of power, covers distance. adversity might present itself, and I'm going to push forward. And like I said before, I'm willing to leave a piece of myself in there Saturday night.
And last for you, Dustin, I know for each fight you do a charity goal with the Good Fight Foundation. Want to just share the message of what your goal is for this fight?
Thanks for asking that. Yeah, this fight we're doing 500 meals for families in a pan to put everything in the oven and bake everything. Also, we're going to do Christmas presents for every kid at the Hub, a women and children's shelter in Lafayette, Louisiana. So it's kind of a joint goal, but that's the mission here.
Awesome. And just one last one for you, John Anik. This is going to be Frankie Edgar's UFC MMA retirement fight. I don't think there's anyone maybe more fitting than you to put his career in context and what it means for him to move on from the sport after Saturday.
Well, you're triggering my emotions. I kind of want to get that FE Iron Element symbol tattooed on my body to show my appreciation for Frankie Edgar's career. But, you know, Chuck Liddell was as beloved as any American UFC fighter until this guy came around. This is an absolute legend, future Hall of Famer, and I'm excited. I know he doesn't walk to the octagon. I know he runs, but we're all excited to see my man FE make that jaunt Saturday night. So we'll see. Thank you, Mike.
This question's for Israel Adesanya. What's the party scene gonna be like over there at City Kickboxing after Saturday night?
I haven't peeked at anything after this fight. I haven't peeked at an opponent. I haven't peeked at anything but focus on the man in front of me because, yeah, we need to get this done, and we will get this done.
And second question is to Michael Chandler. Why don't you like Dustin Poirier's hot sauce, man?
No. Hey, actually, the hot sauce is pretty dang good, all right? Hey, and it was actually funny 2 different times. Our mutual friend, Theo Vaughn, brought it over to the house. I threw it away. Hey, but everybody knows it was actually really good promotion for the hot sauce. Dustin knows it was good promotion for the hot sauce.
You know you went and got that bottle out the trash. You know you did. Tell everyone.
Yeah,
you didn't
it was
leave
good.
It.
It was good hot sauce. The official hot sauce of the UFC, I hear. Congratulations. So it's good hot sauce. Buy it, ladies and gentlemen.
Damn good sauce.
Yeah. And another question for Dustin Poirier. Michael Chandler says that he's going to do 5 backflips if he beats you. How many backflips would you do if you beat him?
I'm going to give you guys a hell of a cartwheel. I can't do a backflip, but I got a couple cartwheels in me for you.
Thank you.
Good. Hey, my first one goes to Frankie. Frankie, I'm a Brazilian, Renzo Gracie guy. Just want to say a big thanks for everything you do and everything you've done. And best of luck on Saturday. We're cheering for you.
Thank you, brother. I really appreciate it, man. Renzo's the best, and if you're good by him, you're good by me.
There you go. And my next question is to Alex. I'm going to do in Portuguese, and then we can get a translator, all right? Poitin, sábado à noite, você vai entrar naquele cage, o Adesanya vai estar do outro lado. O que você acha que vai estar passando pela cabeça dele a hora que ele te vê? E como que você vê essa luta se desenrolar?
Hey, Alex, on Saturday, when you get into that octagon, you're going to be on one side, Adesanya's going to be on the other side. When they close that gate, how do you think everything's going to be?
Bom, eu acho que eu tenho que fazer tudo aquilo que eu treinei. Ele é o campeão. Eu tenho certeza que tudo que eu fizer lá dentro, ele vai querer responder.
I'm going to have to do everything I trained for. He is the champion, and I'm sure everything I do inside that octagon, he's going to want to respond.
Alex, Poitin, desse outro lado aqui. Alex. Poitin, tem muita gente ainda que diz que você não fez por merecer estar nesse lugar, liderar um card em Nova York, disputar o cinturão com apenas 3 lutas no UFC. Que mensagem você daria para essas pessoas hoje? Que mensagem você acha que você vai dar sábado à noite?
Alex, there are a lot of people that say you don't deserve to be here in this stage on a main event after just 3 fights in the UFC. What message do you have for them? And what message are you going to leave on Saturday night for everyone?
Bom, muitas pessoas acham, né? Achavam, né? Porque eu vim provando. Assim como o Adesanya também achou. Ele falou que quando eu cheguei aqui, ele queria lutar comigo. Talvez depois da 4ª luta. Quando foi anunciado que eu ia lutar com ele e toda a equipe dele mudaram o discurso. Não queriam aceitar. E isso demonstra que eu mexi psicologicamente com a cabeça dele e de toda a equipe dele.
You know, there's a lot of people that think maybe that they thought I was undeserving, including Adesanya and his team. Originally, he said, so when I came into the UFC, that he wanted to fight me. As soon as I started to fight people, they changed the narrative. They spun things around and they said, oh, maybe. They started to run around. They said, maybe I don't want to face him again. I think I kind of screwed his mind a little bit, and he's a little bit unbalanced psychologically on this one.
Alex, você fez apenas 3 lutas no UFC, já vai disputar o cinturão, liderar um card aqui no MSG. Vocês já lutaram 2 vezes. Você acha que a rivalidade tem potencial, a rivalidade entre vocês, para ser uma das maiores do MMA atual, uma das maiores da história, e vocês se enfrentarem outras e outras vezes?
And here, Alex, here you are, main event, Madison Square Garden in New York. You faced him twice again, and you're facing him once again. Do you think you have the potential to actually have a rivalry with Adesanya, and not only to fight him tonight, on Saturday, but going forward and have one of the greatest rivalries in UFC history?
Com certeza vai ser uma grande luta. Eu estou disposto a enfrentar quantas vezes ele quiser. Eu já ganhei dele 2 vezes. Eu falo que eu não vou lembrar, mas é um pouco difícil. Isso faz parte da minha história.
Surely, yes, and I will fight him as many times as I'm asked to do. I said I beat him twice, and I say I try to forget as much as possible. It's hard to forget because that's part of my history.
This one's for the Greg Ivory with BR Betting. This one's for the champ, Israel. I want to know, the BR Betting community wants to know, because you're the last leg of our parlay on Saturday, are you a lock to win Saturday night?
Which betting company?
BR Betting.
I only fuck with steak.
Hey, and this one's for Poirier and Chandler. I'm betting my bottom dollar this one doesn't go the distance. Which one of you guys knocking each other out?
I'm going in there to finish this guy, so we'll have to see Saturday night, but I'm leaving it out there.
I can tell you this. I speak for myself and Poirier, I believe. We both are always looking for the finish. We know exactly who each other are. We know exactly who we are when we step inside there. Let's do this thing on Saturday night. We are going to steal the show. This is the people's main event.
This question is for Izzy. Izzy to your left. Izzy over here. Last time you stepped in the cage with Alex, he knocked you out.
Ring.
Sorry, the ring. I apologize. He knocked you out, and he talked about that. He said that that's going to be in the back of your mind, and that's going to affect you now. What's your response to that?
No.
Okay. If you win and you win in spectacular fashion, I know you always like sidestep these questions, but I mean, a lot of people are calling you the greatest of all time. I mean, how far away do you think you are to that?
I never chased those records. I never chased the belt. I never chased anything. All I ever chased was bodies. Put them in front of me and I take them out. And this is going to be no different. I don't chase anything. They all chase me.
That's a great answer. A question to Carla. Earlier today, Weili said there's nothing you do that scares her. Is there anything she does that scares you?
I mean, not really. I've been in the octagon and the cage with the best of the best in the world for 13 years. So I don't think there's ever anything new that I'm gonna see. All the opponent is top notch. So I mean, as far as I respect her as an opponent, but am I scared? No.
And my last question is for Dustin. Earlier today, Michael Chandler was very complimentary. He said you have the best boxing in the division. He also said that he's not here to win fight of the night. He's here to win. Does that kind of hint that he might come out and try to wrestle you?
He better wrestle early.
Here, Weili. My first word goes to Weili. 你好，伟丽，我是中国咪咕记者戴云浩。我会先用中文问，然后再用英文复述一遍。
OK。
我们知道在重量级几乎没有人能抱摔纳甘诺，你在上周却轻而易举的抱起了这位重量级冠军，所以你准备什么时候升到重量级来挑战他呢？ Apparently, there's hardly anybody who can body slam Francis Ngannou in the UFC, but you just picked him up in the gym last week. So when do you plan to move to heavyweight division to face the champion?
我先拿下来这场冠军赛再说，而且我觉得纳甘纳他不重，不信大家可以去试一试。
Let's discuss about this after this fight. But I don't think Francis is that heavy. So if you don't believe me, you can try it.
这是你第一次在 UFC 面对摔跤手，你怎么评价这次对手？你觉得这一次会是一个什么样的风格的比赛呢？ This is your first time fighting a wrestler in the UFC. How do you think Carla as an opponent, and in terms of fight style, how do you think this fight is going to be?
这是我第一次打摔跤手，因为我也练了很长时间的摔跤还有柔术，我也想检验一下我的摔柔到底怎么样。而且我也非常尊重卡拉，因为他在初代冠军，然后又时隔7年8年的时间又拿到了冠军，我觉得他是一个非常值得尊重的对手，我一定好好去对待这场比赛。
Yeah. This is the first time I fight against a pure wrestler, but I think it's a good test for my wrestling and grappling skills because I've trained on this for a long time. And for Carla as an opponent, I respect her a lot because she was the inaugural champion of our division and then gained the title again after 8 years, so which is a huge achievement for her. So I think on the Saturday night, we will bring an exciting fight for everybody. Thank you.
时隔1年重新挑战冠军头衔，整个中国都在关注你，然后也在支持你。你有多大的信心把这个腰带带回中国呢 ？After UFC 268 and after 1 year, you finally come back to MSG. You have with the entire China watching you and rooting for you. How confident you are and how important it is to bring back this belt to your homeland.
我觉得这个腰带属于勇敢者的，属于努力者的。然后我相信我努力了很久为这条腰带，我相信我会取得胜利。
I think the belt belongs to who is brave, who work harder. I train very, very hard for win this title, win this belt again. So I believe I can win this belt back. I put the belt on my waist again.
And I'll just say I'm going to do everything in my power to keep this belt here in the U.S.
My next question goes to Carla. Your previous opponent, Rose Namajunas, said that she hoped this fight will not be kind of boring and become a point decision at the end. In what way and style do you think this fight is going to be executed, and what's your comment on Rose's interview?
Well, I've been working super hard. This has been one of my best camps. I'm definitely looking for the finish. But I guess I can't do much talking. I'm going to show you on Saturday night.
My question is for Izzy. My name is Vic Blends. I just wanted to say congratulations on everything that you've accomplished. Champion of the world, you an inspiration to all of us. There's a lot to be proud about from the outside looking in, but my question is, what's something about yourself that you're proud about that nobody knows?
Something that I'm proud about that nobody knows. Damn, you put me on the spot. Fuck.
Only the good questions, man.
Okay, something I'm proud about. I am proud with my cooking skills. Yeah, during the last lockdown, I'm very coachable. I can follow a recipe. But then when Uber Eats came back, that went out the window, so yeah. But I can cook, I chef it up.
I bet that.
Question for Chandler. You've had a long and storied career as a champion, long before you ever came to the UFC. I'm just wondering if you see it as an advantage arriving to the UFC a little later in your career as opposed to a lot of these fighters who've been here for a long time.
I can honestly say I think I came over to the UFC at the right time. I was where I needed to be, not just physically, but maturation-wise, spiritually. And then, truthfully, it was the craziest unforeseen circumstances with Habib retiring at the same time, Poirier and Connor getting tied up in a trilogy. I'm right where I need to be. I feel like I have gotten 2 careers. 1 career before the UFC, 1 career inside the UFC. And people ask me how I stay motivated. I feel like I'm still a white belt, brand new to the sport every single day. So I'm enjoying the journey. Saturday night, we get another opportunity to prove that we're one of the best in the world, the best in the world. And I've been working hard and I'm excited.
Question for Frankie. You've done this a lot of times now, been through many fight weeks, through many eras. Just wondering what's the most memorable fight week of your career?
Man, they all kind of have their own little piece. Abu Dhabi winning the belt, that probably stands out the most, you know. Getting that title, being considered the best in the world. I mean, once you're a champion for life, and I'll never forget that.
And tailing off of that, my question's also for Frankie. Coming into a final fight scenario, do you feel an elevated level of pressure, or do you feel less pressure knowing that no matter what happens tomorrow, you're still going to have a lot of people that cheer for you?
I want to win this fight just as bad as I wanted to win a fight in the 5th grade. You know what I mean? I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I won already, man. Look at this. I won already.
What do you expect that walkout to feel like tomorrow night?
I'm going to feel that energy. I'm going to bring in a cage. I'm unleashed on this dude.
Thank you.
This one goes to Mike Chandler. Mike, you're recognized as one of the most exciting fighters in the UFC. You've gone on record multiple times saying you are the most exciting. You're 36 now. You got a lot of mileage throughout your career. Has there ever been a point where you think about the future and maybe, you know, toning things down a bit, or are you ready to go to war every single time you step in the octagon?
Hey, man, I got one speed. I am who I am, and I'm not going to change. I enjoy this career. People don't understand what it's like to be inside of the octagon, what it's like to be in the crazy movement and unpredictability. Sometimes it takes a hold of you, and it just so happens Madison Square Garden brings something special out of me. So I'm excited about what happens tomorrow night. But I would challenge the amount of miles that I have on me. I think somebody who might be younger than me, who's got a lot more fights inside of the UFC, would have a lot more miles, because I finished a lot of fights in the first round of my last 31 fights.
This one's for Izzy Adesanya right here. Since even before Alex Pereira was in the UFC, every time his name mentioned, the name Israel Adesanya was mentioned with it. Does it bother you at all, like that throughout his promotion, even before his career up until now, that his name or your name has constantly been attached to his?
No, not really. For me, even right now, I've pretty much cleaned the division, and I'm lapping it again. So I cleared the way. You know, he should be grateful. He wouldn't be here without me. My run to the title was a lot more impressive than what he's done. So he should be grateful that he's here because of me.
This one goes to either Izzy and Dan. You guys have like an army here with City Kickboxing. Does it provide any added confidence knowing you guys have such a big group backing you guys?
We've got myself, Dan, Brad, and Carlos fighting. But behind us, there's a whole army. And then behind us, there's a whole nation. There's a whole spirit. There's a whole mana. And you can't fuck with it. Trust me, you can't.
Você vai estar sozinho lá dentro do octógono. Você vai estar sozinho lá dentro do octógono.
I don't speak Portuguese.
You're going to be alone inside that octagon without a team.
Oh, yes, you and me. Don't worry, but they're going to be with me. They're going to be with me in spirit. Trust me. They can't save you either. They can't save you. Hey. All this shit, don't worry. Hey, he's got bragging rights. Talk all the shit you want. Talk all the shit you want. Because trust me, they can't save you either when you're locked in there with me.
Ei, Adesanya, deixa eu te fazer uma pergunta. Você quer estar aqui realmente?
Caralho, I can't understand what this guy is saying, man.
Do you really want to be here?
I am here. I am here.
Last one for Alex. Alex, you're someone that's typically very stoic in nature. You're kind of quiet. Is this a different feeling being on like a press conference stage with all the lights, especially with someone who talks as much as Adesanya does?
Alex, uma pergunta pra você. Você é um cara calmo, tranquilo, geralmente. É diferente pra você estar num ambiente como esse, cheio de galera falando, e com um cara que fala pra cacete como ele?
Pra mim é normal, eu tô focado nessa luta. É óbvio que eu recebo a energia da galera sempre por um lado positivo, mas o meu foco é o Adesanya.
To me, it's okay. It's regular. You know what? I always try to get people, the crowd's energy in a positive light. My focus is not on you. It's on Israel Adesanya.
All right, we got 2 more media member questions and then the all-important stare down. Sir, you got something?
Yeah, this question's for Izzy. You guys are both known, you and Alex, both known for your incredible striking. I'm curious how much of the grappling and takedown you guys are strategizing with. What'd you say?
For me, yeah, I'll take him down. I'll punch him in the face and he'll be on the ground.
How about you, Alex?
Bom, estou preparado. É MMA. Muitas pessoas subestimam o meu chão, mas eu vou provar que eu sou um lutador completo.
I'm prepared. It's MMA. A lot of people underestimate what I can do underground. I'm going to prove to you that I'm a complete fighter.
Do we have one more, or is that going to do it? All right, last call. All right, thank you all so much for bringing the energy and for coming out to the press conference today. Don't forget, UFC 281 live Saturday night, and then Friday, the ceremonial weigh-ins at Radio City Music Hall, Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern.